Hey guys, here we go with problem 2 for lesson 7-7. This is still on page 245 on your math journal. I'm going to read through it, make sure that you follow along once again. I'm going to have you do a little bit of the work, and I'm going to do a little bit of the work, and we'll get through it together, okay? Number 2, Anna wants to put 72 baseball cards in an album, so she collects baseball cards. A square album fits 4 cards per page, and a rectangular album fits 5 cards per page. Okay, so the rectangular album must be a little bit bigger. How many more pages will she need to fit all the cards if she uses the square album rather than the rectangular album? If you want to pause the video and reread that one time, you should, because it's a good question. So we have 72 baseball cards, no matter what. We're going to have to do 2 division problems to figure out the question. I'm going to read the question one more time because it's always important to make sure you know what you're trying to solve. It is asking me, how many more pages will she need to fit all the cards if she uses the square album, the smaller album, than the rectangular album? The square album, I'll try to draw a square, fits 4 per page. The rectangular album fits 5 per page. So what they're asking us to solve is, if I put my 72 baseball cards into groups of 4, how many pages will that become? Putting into groups of, just like the division video, that's division. If I put all of my cards, 72 cards, into groups of 5, if I put them into groups of 5, how many pages will there be? Once again, the question's asking me to solve how many more pages will she need if she uses the square album, because obviously she's going to need a couple more pages, only having 4 on a page as opposed to 5. We're going to have to do both of the division problems you see here. I'm going to do the square, and you're going to do the rectangle album. So for the square album, it looks like 72 cards total, put into groups of 4. How many will that be? Well, how many times does 4 fit in a 72? Well, let me try 20. 2 times 4 is 8, 8, 0 is 80. Oh, that's a little bit too much. Remember, it's okay. Just like in the division video I showed you, it's okay to be wrong. You go back and make a little adjustment. How about 10? These problems should be easy to do, so I wouldn't use a number like 13, 14, but 4 groups of 10 would be 40. Well, that gets rid of 40 baseball cards, and it makes 10 pages. 72 minus 40 is 2, 3. 4 fits into 32 8 times, because 8 times 4 is 32. And we can subtract 32 more cards, leaving me with 0 cards left over. That's nice. It fits evenly onto a page. So there's 4 cards on the last page. There's no remainder. Now I count that up. 10 and 8 makes 18 total pages if I use the square album. I want you to put this on pause, and I want you to do the rectangle album. Or I should say, yeah, that's what they have, the rectangle album. Go ahead and pause the video and do what I did for the rectangle album. Okay, now that you've paused and walked through that a little bit, I'm going to quickly go through it with you. 72 cards at 5 pages apiece, put into groups of 5. 5 fits into 72. I'm going to start out the same way with it. 10 pages. 10 groups of 5 make 50. Subtract, you get 2, 22 cards left. 5 fits into 22 4 times. 4 times 5 makes 20, and we have 2 cards left over. Well, you know what? Am I going to throw those 2 cards in the trash? I don't think so. I think I'm going to need to make another page. So far my answer is I'm going to need 10, 14 pages and 2/5 of a page. But that doesn't make any sense. I'm going to need that whole page. It's just that it's only going to have 2 cards on it. And that comes down in the last part of question 2, where it says, what did you do with any remainders you found? Well, this is your remainder, 2. Well, I'm going to round up because I need a whole page, even though I only have 2 cards that are going to go on it. So 14 and 2/5, I'm going to round that up to 15 pages. So this one was 18 pages in the square and 15 pages in the rectangular album. Now that I have those two numbers, I'm going to reread the question, make sure I solved it correctly. It says, how many more pages will she need to fit all the cards if she uses the square album rather than the rectangular album? Well, that's pretty easy subtraction. 18 minus 15 leaves you with, she's going to need 3 more pages. One of the funny parts on this for me is squares are rectangles. I think we've gone through that a million times. So when this is a rectangular album as well, but they're calling it a square. So I know some of you might be confused when we go through rectangles and squares, but it's 3 more pages if she uses this square album. Keep in mind, you still have to do estimates for that one. Use easy to work with numbers like 4 and maybe 80, or maybe you want to use 5 and 70. It's up to you on how you want to estimate these. We've gone through that before in class, but make sure it comes out close to the same, and your finalized answer still should be around 3 more pages when you're done. So that's problem 2. We're going to move on to problem 3. Oops. Hey, we're on to problem 3 now on page 246 of your math journal. So make sure you get it out, follow along with your finger as I read the words. Here we go. Jeremiah and, I'm going to say Jeff, are raising money for an art club. Jeremiah raised $117 selling 9 raffle tickets. Jeff raised $144 selling 8 fruit baskets. So they sold 2 different things, okay. Which costs more, a raffle ticket or a fruit basket? And how much more? Okay, all right, so we got to take notes once again. Jeremiah, Jeff. I'm going to see what Jeremiah did one more time. It says, Jeremiah raised 117 selling 9 tickets. And we have Jeff, who sold fruit baskets, and he sold $144 worth. He made $144 worth selling 8 fruit baskets. Okay, well, right away, note-taking already helps me again, and I'll tell you why. This Jeremiah made less money selling 1 more item than Jeff made. He made more money selling 1 less item. So obviously, we already know one of the answers to, which costs more, a raffle ticket or a fruit basket? Well, these cost more. He sold 1 less item than he did, but still made more money. And I'm going to prove that to you when we do a little division, okay? As we roll through this, I have to figure out how much more a fruit basket costs than a ticket. If I sold I'm going to start over here on this side, $144 worth, and I sold 8 items. If I divide by 8, I'm going to figure out how much each item is worth. How many times does 8 fit into 144? Well, let's talk about that. 8 can't fit into 1. 8 can fit into 14. 8 fits into 14 just once. Add 1 0. That gets rid of 80. Now I subtract 144. I got a bigger bottom, better barrel. 14, 4, 8, 14 minus 8 is 6, 64 left. Ooh, that became an easy problem now because I know that 8 fits into 64 8 times. 8 times 8 makes 64. Subtract, you get 0. All right, perfect. Count up your side or add your side. You get $18 per fruit basket. Okay, so now I have to figure out how much it is for a ticket. Just like Mr. Schroeder did for Jeff on the $18 per basket, I want you now to pause the video and solve for Jeremiah. How much is each ticket worth? He sold 9 tickets at $117. Go ahead and pause the video, give that a try. Okay. Now, if you've given that a try, put it back up just a little bit. If you've given that a try, I'm going to do it now. I have $117, and I know that I sold 9 tickets. If I put 117 into 9 groups, I'm going to figure out how much each ticket was worth, or each group is worth. Draw my line down the side. How many times does 9 fit into 117? I'm going to start with 10 because that'll get rid of a big chunk of 90. And a bigger bottom, better borrow. Make it 11. 7. 11 minus 9 would be 2. I just have $27 to get rid of now. So 9 fits into 27. Ooh, that's an easy problem because 3 times 9 gives me 27. 0 left over. Awesome. So if I count up my side, each ticket was $13. Each fruit basket was $18. Well, now the last question, like I said originally, was how much more does it cost for the one that cost the most, which was the fruit basket? That's a simple problem. 18, subtract 13, and you get 8 minus 3 is 5, and minus 10 is nothing. It cost $5 more for that fruit basket than it did for your raffle ticket. Once again, you have to still do the estimations, use easy to work with numbers, and do these division problems with estimations of your own. If they take more than a little bit of time, you're doing them wrong. They should be quick, extended fast factor, this extended division fact type of problems. Now, I'm going to do one last thing. I'm going to cut you a little bit of a break. For those of you who are a little frustrated or feeling overwhelmed, you know what? You've gone far enough. Number 4, if you feel like you're up to the challenge and this is coming to you pretty easily, go ahead and give that a try. But if you feel like we've done a lot of work today, I'm going to give you the opportunity to skip problem number 4 and go straight to your math boxes. Thanks, guys, for tuning in today. I hope this helped you a little bit. Remember, the biggest part of solving word problems is to read the problem, reread the problem, take your notes. There's a lot of steps that go into it, but slow down. And if you can take your notes and do the problems and double check with an estimate, you probably did a great job, okay? So I'm looking forward to see how these turn out. Remember, send your math work to your math teacher. And have a nice day, guys. We'll talk to you later.